Shamkadaning Mashpaka. Like the shirt my Asha got me. Así, orale. So I'm going to be trying to make my way to a rest area today that my Asha found, where I can have Shabbat rest. So today is the day of preparation, and I'm trying to get back to Goshen for my next load. I'm also trying to get 269 gallons in the rest of this month, which is only a few days remaining. It's not looking like I'm going to make it, but we'll see. If I make it, Baruk Yahuah. If I don't, Baruk Yahuah, right? Either way, all is well. So, just got my coffee at the pilot. I actually stayed here last night. I'm going to go get some fuel, and then we're going to get on the road. Baruk Yahuah. Alright. Baruk Yahuah. We are on old Route 66 in Oklahoma. Just passed through a town called Warwick. I gotta tell you, you want to make sure that you adjust in your Google Maps whether you want to pay tolls or not. I didn't realize that I-44, Interstate 44, was a toll road. I remember talking about this a while back, and I have not yet got an answer, but since when are interstates toll roads? It says, yes, we're open, come on in, a little hand-painted sign. Anyways, this road might be a little rough, but I kind of feel like I'd rather be on it than some zippy fast toll road. That really bothered me when I realized that. So I had to go into the options, toggle avoid tolls, and it told me to exit. And then there was a sign basically saying, don't worry about it, we'll get with you with either whatever their little pass. Like, this is another thing, why is there not just a national pass transponder that they all can utilize? Why do they have to have their own, you know what I mean? Different areas have their own toll transponders, like what the freak? Yeah, Route 66 roadside stand, the sign said. That's cool. It said that, or something called like pay with plate, which I guess it means they send me a bill. I don't know. I have no idea how much it is. I despise chaos, mismanagement. When there's no clear communication, like those things just irk me out. Say Yahuah rebuked them, claiming to be wise. They're utter fools. But anyway, let's see what we got along this road in Oklahoma. Enjoying some coffee here. Hey, you got a little country store. Dang, they actually got diesel. They're open. Huh. Baruk Yahuah. Oh wow, it's telling me that I can go 65 on here too. I don't know. I want to look for a sign to verify, because the Google Maps doesn't always match reality. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Caverns, Stanton, M.O. Is that Missouri? Let's see. MN is Minnesota. MT is Montana, I think. MI is Michigan, I think. I should know these things, but I don't. I mean, I think I'm right, but I'm not positive, right? MO. I think that's Missouri. An advertisement for a place in Missouri all the way out here. That's pretty wild. Yeah, I still need to take some alcohol to the inside of my windows because of that WD-40. I almost want to call it a deception. I love WD-40. I wanted it to be true. I wanted it to work. But the guy's like, oh yeah, spray it on your window, then wipe it in, rub it in well, then take a dry one and buff it out. And I'm like, yeah, now I have a oily film on my window. Thanks, bro. If you're driving towards the sun, which I am right now, you can see like every imperfection. You know, when the sun is still kind of like low, the angle's just right. Yeah. Let's see if I zoom in. I go 2 miles. Turning. See some of these old like collection of tractors, you know, tractor trailer trucks, big trucks, and other things, rusty farm equipment. Okay, so it did, I think it was 65 because it just showed me that it's going to be turning to 55 now. Slowing down even more soon because we gotta turn anyways. There you go, 45. Yeah, I like this little shady road. You can't see on this side. There's some houses. They're brick style. They're cute. Kind of seems like a road of folks that keep to their own a little bit. South of that big old 44. Yeah, please let me know if you got any thoughts or understanding about interstates being toll roads. Can't like it, bro. I thought the idea of that was that it's a road, like a federal road funded by the tax dollars. But that's double taxation, ain't it? You're gonna sit there and charge the folks that are using it when you already charged the folks to build it in the first place. Yeah, anybody awake out there? What's going on? 35. We have a turn and a half a mile. So my Yapa Asha, hi baby, I love you. Missing you. She found me a place because it was just not mathematically possible for me to make it to our driver's lounge before the sun rise tomorrow. It just wasn't even going to be like mathematically possible. This is interesting. It's telling me to keep on going straight right here. 25. What's this little place? Maintenance barn number 2. Wow. Wow. Everybody still alive? Dang, bro, that was a bump. It's not looking like this on the old Googler neither. Dang, dude, that was intense. And here's a stop sign that's not showing up on there. So I don't know. We could have stepped in it with this whole toll navigation, whatever, because if I would have had it on avoid tolls, it probably would have not had me come this way at all. But you know, this is one of the things that Abba does. I'm serious, man. He'll use our oversight and our little mistake, and meanwhile, this is exactly where he wanted me to be. You know? And a few few times that I've gone on little roads like this, I've just seen some real beauty. And then it's like, he's given me a chance to see the filth, right? And then he's also given me a chance to see the beauty. Speaking of beauty, like I said, my Yahusha found a place. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm thinking about stopping and picking up an extension cord, because if there's a place to plug in, what do you think the chances are there's a place to plug in though at a rest area? Come on. But if I could, then that would power my fridge and everything, and I wouldn't have to like run the truck as much, or maybe even at all. I don't know. I really don't want to have to run the truck, idle the truck at all. So even though it runs hard at poles, which is well for it to be clean, not become clogged and whatnot, I don't think that idling for any prolonged period is healthy for the diesel engine, especially with the emissions that they put on there and all that crap, right? The DPF filter, which reminds me I should check my DEF and make sure it's still okay. On my truck, it just says okay, and then once it gets to a certain level, which I think it's around maybe 500 miles, I'll have to double check, it'll start telling you a percentage. And it's actually probably a lot more than that. It's probably plenty enough to where it doesn't even matter. Like, just if it's okay, don't worry about it, and then if it tells you something, then you add it. Instead of adding 3 gallons here and 3 gallons there, just wait until you really need to add 80% of the reservoir or whatever. I hate that we have to use that stuff, and I think it's probably does more harm. I can't stand getting it on me, I think it's probably very, very toxic, and you get it on your skin and stuff like that, and your skin absorbs like crazy. The largest organ of our body, our skin. Touching all these plastics all the time. Heck, I can't see if anybody's coming because should avoid putting stop signs at intersections where you don't have, pretty close to a 90-degree angle. If you have to look behind you into your blind spot to see if someone's coming, that's probably an indication that that's not well designed or safe. But it's old, and it's been like that for generations probably. Look like that old oil pump thing that's sitting out there doing nothing. Broke down 20 years ago. Who knows? Only who knows. This cute brick house on a great big piece of property. I really want to be able to see, 3, 4, 5, probably even up to 7 Qadash families dwelling together on the same piece of land, sojourning together, shepherding herds, flocks, what have you. Got to think about in the scripture, that would happen when a patriarch would have several sons, and they would work the land with him and everything like that, and then they would eventually marry and go off and get their own thing going. But they would all gather together at appointed feast times. We're so far from that model. It will take generations to recover. And plus, the beast system doesn't want you to have that. It doesn't want you to be able to go and work a piece of land and gotta get papers and pay taxes, and you can't go and work some land that no one else is working at the time. Like, think about how the First Nations were, but they would move around. They would come into an area, and if they dwelled there, then you were dwelling there. They wouldn't consider it to be like their property necessarily, right? They had personal property, but they know that the earth belongs to the Creator. Yeah, look at some of these little places. I was trying to do some calculations and figure, like, if I say I need 270 gallons of fuel in the next couple of days in order to hit the 1,000 for the month of July, then I have to multiply that by pretty much what I'm getting. Currently getting about 16 miles per gallon unloaded. So I have to do 16 times 270. That's how much miles I would need to drive in those days. And I don't think it's gonna happen, especially with the Shabbat tomorrow. So no driving, so I'll tell you. Not only that, but the rest the Shabbat is also when I'm going to be doing my 34-hour refresh. So it's time for me to be doing that too. If I press on, I'm only going to be leaving myself with like 15 hours or so, which is obviously not well. But if I get to this place tonight, it's saying 6:15 local time. So you have evening, have like a meal, night rest, Shabbat day rest, and then if I have that night again, then it'll easily be the 34 that's required. If that makes sense. If I try to press on driving that night, meaning tomorrow night, yeah, I'll be allowed to log and drive, but then after that I'm gonna have to do a refresh anyways. So why would I would rather just stay there until the 34 hours is done and then go. Plus then I'm going to have my appointment to get the truck serviced, and I'll be able to grab a load, I'm willing. That's at least the plan. We'll see. That's me picking a path and Yahuah directing my steps, right? Everything here is 66, old route 66, museum and all that. This place is called Davenport. I hope y'all ain't going out into the street. Y'all are getting really close to the roadway, lady. Dang. From why? Don't know. So we're bumping up to 55. And the thing is too, my ETA didn't really change that much by coming down here on this road. This is a lot more Shalom on this road compared to that. I can be going 4 or 5 miles an hour over the speed limit in the fast lane, and I got somebody coming up behind me, pushing me hard. You know? I signal like, okay, I'm gonna start getting over now. I just passed this truck, but I like to make sure that I can see everything in my side mirror, that I know it's clear, because my rear mirror just sees a lot more, and so if I just only cut over as soon as it shows there, I'm gonna be kind of close, and I'm not rude like that. So I check my side mirror and I get over, and these people are pushing the whole way, like, get out of my way, like, you know. It's crazy. Who needs that, dude? Or they don't pay attention. That was a cute little creek. It's called Dry Creek. Anyway, so yeah, it's interesting, right? Come down here on old Route 66. Actually, look at this part of the road. It's very smooth right here. Look at this. Smooth. Right? Speed limit 65. I could be going a little bit faster if I want. There's like no traffic. There's little things to look at here and there. How is it not better? I don't know. Especially like I don't have a trailer on right now, so I mean, I get sometimes if I have a trailer, I probably just want to stick to the main things, because I don't want to get myself in any kind of situation, low bridge or just whatever, you know, rough roads, stinky creek. Look at this shade, man. What is a sweet ride through here. Stay up on here a little bit longer and see if we see something. What's this one? Dossie Creek. D-O-S-I-E Creek. Yellow wildflowers in a big field over here. Let's see if we see something like that over there on your side too, because sometimes you see that in an area and it'll be like on both sides. Dude, there's a bunch of old retired like crane trucks. Wow, what in the world? Where old utility trucks go to die, I guess. Stroud, S-T-R-O-U-D, Oklahoma. So there's a couple of the grain trucks, but they look like a little bit like they're in service though. Over here, some older ones. A lot of rusted down stuff over here. Dang, bro. I know most people, they really wouldn't want to go on this road. You know? Too much slowing down and speeding up and turn and, you know. Speed limit will change like 3 times in 2 minutes. But I'm not minding. As long as I get to this rest area, I can have some Shalum for the Shabbat. I don't like that I'm having Shabbat on the road, but we have, my Shah and I have just accepted that that's going to happen sometimes, especially when I'm out here trying to stay on loads. Stores got the word dollar in the names. They're all right there. That's where you go. So what are we doing? We're 18 miles and we're going to be staying on 66. Coming through a little town now. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be like 25 or 35. Historic 66. Bank First, Oklahoma. I went to Penn-Orthus School in Oklahoma. Some university, Oklahoma satellite school, to learn how to do shoe modifications and arch supports and things like that. Other than that, I just come here times for the basketball tournament because the university has a wheelchair basketball team, and when they first come into being, they were competing in the men's Division II, which is Division I is the elite level, and then Division III is more like a recreational division. Division II is competitive, but it's it's not Division I. So I personally felt like some of the best players I ever played ball with were in Division II. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that Oklahoma, I haven't followed it in a while, but they're probably competing in the college division now. Well, they probably did a little bit of both. Maybe they played games in Division II in order to qualify for different tournaments. You have to have a certain amount of games. I don't know. But I come here and do a tournament. They could host a tournament, but they could have, some of the top 10 Division II teams. We would try to go to whatever tournaments we can get to or that we can drive to. And Coach Lilly would load a bunch of us up in his Suburban. And that man would drive day and night whatever it took, a couple days in a row, and get us there. We'd be sleeping. Wild stuff. Yeah, I wonder if they still have a program or not. That little town, why it didn't even show up on the map? It seems like it should have. Obviously it's on maps, just not this. I'm talking about this map that's in the truck. I'm trying to use for big picture view of what's going on. Stroud Veterinary. Hey, look, there goes some horsies. Oh, hey. Oh, look at this blondie one right here. Ooh-wee. Birdie. Oh, look at the little colt in the sun. The little colt in the sun. Dang, I hope you guys saw that. I think that he might have been below the camera. I don't know. Baruk Atah Yahuah. So it's telling me stay on 66 for 15 miles to 66. And there I see, just north of us, toll booths on the interstate. Freak out of here. Man, get the freak out of here. What's wrong with you? What? How you gonna sit there and double tax folks? There ain't nobody saying nothing. I must be missing something. You know? Of course, deep down we know in my shop we talk about it because they always find multiple ways to profit off it. So I can think of another example that if I talk about it, it might cause a problem. But you can, if you stop and think about it, you could probably think of something that's funded by your tax dollars that they also then turn around and sell the fruits thereof in order to make more money. And most people didn't even know they were doing that until it came out, like in 2020. They'll say, oh, it's going to, you know, medical research, university study programs are paying for this, you know. And the people are shocked, like, what? You're selling that? You know? Yeah, bro, that's how they get down. That's how they roll. Some big black flying bug just hit the windshield. He hit that thing so hard it was like made a thud sound. And he must be dizzy right now, but he ain't dead because he didn't even leave any mark. He just bounced right off of there, ricocheted right off of there. Ding! It's funny. Trading post. Seen a couple cute little properties along here. Outbuildings. Maybe a large machine shop. Probably got some automobiles up in there. Maybe rebuilding a little truck or something. Pretty cool. This little section right here, make sure we don't lose nothing. I'm going to start up another one, so see you in a sec. There we go. I mean, I said see you, but really ain't really going to see you. Here, a couple more horses. Now let's see if I'm going to try to look and see if there's so much glare I can't. There's so much glare I can't tell what you can see. You can. I do halal that the video is well and that the sound is okay. I know this road is rough. You know, I used to say, and I still would say, like, you could always just mute the sound, play some of your own music in the background, and just check out the countryside going by. When I was going through New Mexico, I saw so much rough living conditions, and I was kind of curious if we were going to see more of that today here in Oklahoma, or what, you know, like how it was going to be. So in this area so far, it seems more like some of these folks have a little bit of acreage, and they might have some livestock, or they might be cash cropping hay or something. So that's what it looks like anyway. But then there's also, you'll see quite a few trailers, and you know, some of them look like they've been there for a real long time. There's a pair of trailers next to me right here. They don't look like anything's wrong with them. It ain't nothing wrong with living in a trailer. So make sure we get that straight. I live in a trailer, and I actually don't. I think it wears on my shop a little bit. And she's told me, you know. So I want to maybe see if I can do something about that. It doesn't bother me. One thing I don't like, though, is in our location, if something goes out, it's difficult for me to find someone to help. There's other areas that you can stay where you can hire a mobile RV mechanic, and I have like a warranty and everything. So like, you know, say air conditioner goes out, they can fix it or change it, whichever one they diagnose it and they do it, and then the warranty company will cover it. They'll reimburse for it. You know? But we ain't been able to do that in the time that we've been out where we're at now, because there's no mobile mechanics that respond to that area. But I think probably, if I remember right, how this started was my baby put an ad out on the fake book, and our friend's wife, she saw the post and she tagged our friend in it, and then he contacted me, and he works locally for an RV dealer, so he has some skills, and you know, I can reach out to him, and Baruk him and his house. He will do whatever he can to help and stuff like that. So he's done quite a few things for us, and we really do appreciate him, Baruk. But well, I don't know. We got to see if we got any mobile RV mechanics out there in the Wisconsin area where we're thinking about trying to get to. You know, see if Abba brings that to pass. Our RV has an onboard generator that needs to be repaired, and that's something that should be able to be done at a dealership. So I want to take the RV to a dealership. There's one in Washington that's a few hours south of where we are. We can try to go there before we depart from the area, or maybe we can find one that's somewhere along the route. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we need to figure out. But one of the main things is brakes, tires, and bearings on that trailer are going to need to be dealt with. Make sure that all the lights are working. Pretty sure they are, but you know, you got to hitch up and test everything. hard to see or know how or when any of that stuff's going to happen. I feel like you got to get a little bit of savings before you go making a jump like that. And how am I supposed to do that when I'm trying to pay down all the investment that we made into doing this RV transport in the first place? And I'm not really able to take time off. So, they ain't got me with a lot of this stuff. I don't know. I'm just out here trying to obey Yahuah and do the best I can. And it's frustrating when you feel like, you're alone in a lot of ways, right? How was it any different, I guess, for any of my forefathers? That's how they rolled. Of course, we got together when we came out of Mitzrayim under Pasha, and we were a community under Daud. There have been times, obviously, that's when I feel like Yashar'Al is maybe operating with the most strength when the Father has ordained that there be a gathering and assembly. He does for his purposes, of course, but the people benefit. When you're out dwelling on your own, when you're scattered like that, it's very difficult. But it also, in a way, protects us from the enemy because we are more difficult to locate. But I definitely think that the enemy knows where we're all at right now. So be it, though, we don't fear the enemy. Facing something that's unknown, which makes it, when something's unknown, that's why we're afraid of the dark when we're little, because we don't know, it's unknown, we don't know what's going on. That's why swimming in a black sea that might have sharks in it is about the scariest thing I can think of. I don't know what's going to come brushing up against my leg. I don't know what's going to come up and bite me, whatever. That's, that unknown part. But the Alu that we serve knows all things, and he ordains all things, the beginning from the ending. So this is why we need not fear, because greater is he who lives in us than he who is in this world. Hallelujah. See what I'm saying, bro? We don't have that. What do we have? Man, you think I'm gonna put my trust in my own self? My own strength, my own wisdom? Oh, I know how to invest this and buy this and fix this, and oh yeah, I know how to do this and that and whatever. How far is that really gonna get anybody if you don't have the Most High? It's only a matter of time before the enemy claims you. Man, it's so pretty through here. So this little town, what's this little town called? I think it could be called Bristow, B-R-I-S-T-O-W, Bristow, I think. I'm not positive. Dang, they said diesel is $2.59. Does that say $2.59? Dude, for real? That's great. Hey, they got a dog washing place. Oh, but it says, no, it's open. Man, take the dog right there and give him a bath. Yeah, it says Bristow on the sign right there. I like that. These little towns, man, where you feel like it's a throwback, to an older generation. I have so much love and appreciation for old folks. It's weird how that works, when you're younger, you just think they're all fuddy-duddies and whatever. You want to be accepted by the cool KIDs. You know? You get a little older and you get some appreciation for old folks there. I tried to wave to that man, but I don't think he saw me. Alright. Look at this town. Wow, they got quite the little town through here. Huh. Who knew? Bristow, Oklahoma, y'all. Check her out. She's something else. I don't know what this is. Tell me it's 25, okay. Alright. I see a Masonic temple right here, though. Right across the street from the playground. Hey, there's a little place right here called Taco Mayo. I would want to try it, but it looks corporate. No. If that was a little truck, like a little taco truck, I might just have to stop and get me something. Kind of hungry because pushing hard, trying to make time. Didn't eat nothing last night. What was the last thing I even ate? I don't even know, man. Probably chicken salad like about 20 hours ago. No, wait. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, probably was. No. Oh, dang, I'm confused. I don't know. I didn't eat nothing last night. Oh, you know what I did? I'm so silly. Forgive me. Salakia. I had already 2 boiled eggs with salt this dawning. I don't need nothing. What you talking about, boy? Alright, 3 miles. And it doesn't tell me, it doesn't say what's going to happen next. It just says 2.9 miles and then, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this done kicked up to 55. Now we're going to go cross to the other side of 44, which they have as a toll road. Should not be a toll road. It's an interstate. Somebody can come in after the fact and analyze the decisions that you made. You know, you made the best decision that you knew how to make at the time with the information you had. Maybe you didn't have a lot of time to sit there and ponder it. You had to make a call, and you made a call. And then they come back after the fact, and they could just easily be like, "Oh, well, you should have done this. Oh, I would have done this. Or I would have," right? But the thing is, if your decision would have worked out and would have been all right, they wouldn't be saying that. They're only saying that because you're coming to them and saying, "This happened to me. It didn't work out. It was this. It was that." You see what I mean? It's easy to do that. You know, make the call in the moment when something's on the line. Some of these places, look at that place, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And then go back and review some of what was going on yesterday, some of the places that I was showing. That's a great looking shop right there. I bet you they do a lot of amazing work in there. But Jackson Automotive, you know. that's just a general statement. It's not like specific to any one particular thing, but oh, there it goes. It just changed to stay on 66 for 6 miles now. So it's just updated itself. Yeah, it's funny, right? Because like even if you explain kind of like why maybe you had been given this information about it, so you know that combined with something else is why you chose to do what you chose to do, and then you know instead of having kind of like a perspective of I can kind of see why you chose that. Well, I might have made the same decision if I was in your shoes. They'll be like, oh, I can see where you went wrong. Oh yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You should have called this place. You should have asked this person. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that. Woo! Oh, bro. Crazy. Yeah, so yesterday, our neighbor and his Yashar'Al helped us out lending us their generator. But before that, he came over with a mechanic that runs like a shop right there on his property. I guess 1 second, the sun is making me. Woo! Sometimes the sun will make you sneeze. So his friend, a mechanic, came and looked at the generator and diagnosed it that there was a part that needed to be replaced, that he wouldn't be able to just fix it. We'd have to get another one of those parts, maybe order it from the manufacturer or something like that. Okay, so that generator that's leaking fuel was given to me as a loaner by a person that I hired to fix our onboard generator and already paid him. Like I paid him in like 2 installments. I paid him half up front, and then it was like, oh, we need more parts and this and that, so I paid him the balance. And he never did the job. He never fixed it. Okay? So he's like, well, I have this generator. I'm going to let you guys use it. He came into health issues. We've had it ever since. We've maybe had to use it probably like 4 times or so. And every couple months I'll go start it, let it run for a bit, you know, and like that. So I messaged him to let him know that somebody come over, that it was leaking fuel. They diagnosed it and said it was a part of 1/2-inch insulation between the carburetor and the motor housing, I think is how he described it. He messaged me back with a checklist of like 10 things to do that you would do to like service it, because he thinks that it's, you know, clean the float, might be sticking, make sure there's no gas in the oil, change the oil, just a whole like do this, then do this. If this, then skip steps 1 and 2 and go to step 3 and like this, and it's like really long. And it just kind of makes me chuckle a little bit, because look, the guy that came over and looked at the generator is a mechanic that runs a shop. Okay? And so why would I think that that guy doesn't know what he's talking about? I'm pretty sure that he does. You see what I'm saying? And he didn't start a project and he can't finish it, and that kind of thing. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. But I will say that if you get hired to do a job and you don't do the job and it's been years, then the other generator that you gave on loaner, that's basically like, hey, we're square. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. And I'm not trying to be harsh, because trust, if anybody accused me of that, that would be wrong, because we have been extremely patient in this whole process, which has been years. Years. Okay? Oh, it's crazy. It really is. It's so crazy. And you know, basically now I have 2 generators that need to be repaired. And all I can say is, Baruk Atah Yahuah, that my neighbor is letting us borrow theirs, because they're going to plan to take the power down on 7/31 and on 8/8, which is a whole other story I've been talking about a little bit off and on. Like, I noticed mile marker 88, exit 88, and guess how many people it said on the news died in Gaza? How many Palestinians died in Gaza yesterday? 88. I wouldn't even be surprised if I opened a Google and I typed in the name of the Golden Dawn and that number, did a search in videos, that I would see dozens of decode videos breaking down the significance of that. And it has to do, it's weird, it has to do with this Luciferian symbol of a serpent eating its own tail, intertwined in and on itself, like the infinity symbol, but when it's double, then it's actually like a nod to time travel. So crazy as that sounds. However, there's ways that it's not crazy. You know, there's the whole thing of book about Barron, Trump, and people are speculating different things about time travel. Let me tell you something. The only thing outside of time is Yahuwah. Okay? And when Abba cast those fallen down to the earth, they are locked. They're locked in a physical space. Time and matter and space, right? That's why they have certain boundaries with regards to possession and stuff like that, and indwelling. This is my understanding. Okay? Now, because they're ancient, I already talked about this so much times, right? Aliens are demons. They're not life forms from other celestial, or I'm sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? From some other rock. They're not beings from another rock. Okay, they're interdimensional because they're the mix between angelic and human, not fallen, the fallen ones. The ancient. The scripture also says mighty, M-E-N, of renown. Okay, so you have this wisdom that's down here, existing throughout all the ages, influencing kingdoms and kings, and having a lot of power and influence, access to unlimited amounts of money and military and research, development, technology, science, artificial intelligence, all of the stuff, right? So they can long game and have plans. They need to try to deceive the whole world. They're trying to make war with Yahuwah. I mean, come on. You know, this is an undertaking of all undertakings. It's laughable to think that you're going to make war with the Most High, but that's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. So they can do something and plant a switch, a change, a deception, a Mandela effect. Okay? You can have a very powerful entity, a power-filled entity that indwells different vessels in different ages and comes again and indwells a different one. Nimrod, and the Mustache Man, Golden Dawn. Well, I don't know. A lot more than those that I just don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm going a little bit too fast through here. I'm gonna check myself. So in a way, you can say that that entity has been traveling through time, taking on mortality, indwelling different vessels, but they never actually like go away, right? Until Yahusha returns. Just think about Legion and the swine, and when they, what do you have to do with us, Son of Man? You know, like it's not the appointed time. What are you doing here? That kind of thing. And they basically asked to be cast into the swine, right? Well, it wasn't their first rodeo. You know, they knew that they could just depart in those and go and unalive their own selves off the edge of the cliff, and then they would be back to being wandering, disembodied spirits. The Legion there did not go away. Okay? They're basically like saying, yeah, we lost this round, we're going to live to fight another day, so to speak. Anyway, so if 4,000 years ago they had a plan that they were going to do something in the year 2026 or 2020, then they could be planting like markers and symbols and seeds and things all along the way. Or they can have evidence that the story goes this way, and then they flip the script at the appointed time, and it deceives the masses, and it confounds people, and they get caught up and they're like, how, what's going on? Oh my gosh, Then they're going to actually believe that there's aliens that came from Nibiru or whatever. They could fall for anything. The scripture says even the very elect could be deceived if it were possible. Right? That the time need to be cut short, unless all flesh perish from the face of the earth. So, yeah, when you start to associate those symbols with that individual, it is a marker that's saying he's back. That the vessel doesn't have to go through quite a lot to be chosen. Quite a lot. Generationally a lot. Look at that. Look at that place. See there? And with the water and everything right there. See? Now that's the haves and the have-nots. I don't know that person, but is that person more Qadash and more righteous than the First Nation guy, you know, over there in New Mexico that's dwelling in that dilapidated trailer or whatever? No. This is 33 right here, junction to 33 west, and then continue going straight is both 66 east and 33 east. Dang it, bro. I don't know what I just said, but the camera did that thing. It turned off. I think the last thing I was trying to talk about was... Oh, dang, there was some nuggets in there. I was talking about Monsters, Inc. I was talking about how they harvest fear, how there's a commandment not to drink the blood because the power of life is in the blood, but that's something that they're obsessed with, and it manifests itself physically, spiritually, and even in energy. Just like in Monsters, Inc., how they're harvesting the screams of the little ones, and then they're all working in some factory where they clock in and out, and they go to work, and then their boss or whatever gives them a promotion if they harvest a lot and all that. And I was talking about how people did research and discovered that a lot of the companies and their logos, and they have Luciferian symbolism built into all the businesses and companies, and that they do things, or they're affiliated with things that we don't know about overtly, that are underground, you discover later, da 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 da. And I was saying how yesterday I was looking at the Phillips 66, and no, I'm not into numerology, I'm not superstitious, but I know that the enemy is, and it's part of understanding how they communicate, so that you can be aware of what they're up to, what they do, right? Just like how the code talkers in World War II were able to discern the codes of the enemy, and then they could understand what their plans were. Okay. What if the Phillips is just 600 in like gematria? Would you be surprised? I was like, I absolutely would not be surprised, right? So that's kind of like this idea that Phillips 66, what if it's literally just saying 666? Would you be surprised? I wouldn't be. If I wasn't driving right now, I'd probably be Googling that, right? Because they'll put a word, you put a word into the gematria calculator, and it tells you all the other words that have that exact same value, and you see how they actually like interconnect. Okay, anyway, that's what I was trying to say. I don't know what the name of the town is that we just went through. We're zigzagging back and forth over this Interstate 44, which is a very frustrating thing that's not going to apparently go away for me today. Alright. We gotta get some speed up a little bit here. Oh dang, we're only going 1.7 and then we gotta turn again. Dang, bro. I don't know, I think it would have been well if it could have told me how much the toll was, and maybe I would have just been like, yeah, I'll just pay it. But then again, I wouldn't be able to see all the things that I'm able to see right now, so. I think there was this house that we went by that was just immaculate and huge and up on a hill overlooking this pond, and I asked the question, do you think that the owner of that house is more Qadash than the First Nation man in that dilapidated trailer in New Mexico? And I said, absolutely not, right? It's just a situation of the haves and the have-nots. It does seem wrong. Can I just use a vague word like that? It seems wrong. And no, I'm not saying that I believe that the government should intervene and make sure that everything is equal. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if we did have a what'd you call it, like a theocracy where the nation was run by the commandments of Torah, then the righteous would prosper and the wicked would falter. But in the beast system, it's like the opposite of that happens. I guess that's my point, if I even have a point. But you can see that, right? And you see it in the scripture too, and when it writes, why do the wicked prosper? That's anti-Thurah. And then they take their gains as a filthy, greedy lucre, and they don't distribute it amongst the poor, right? there are actually people out here creating scenarios in order to profit off of the unaliving of masses of people. It's like a military-industrial complex that wants to fuel some kind of tension, chaos, and strife in a region so that they can profit off of arms sales, right? Or maybe they're an agent in pharmakia and they're involved in developing, patenting, licensing some treatment, some cure for some kind of sickness, illness, disease, what have you, that they need to make sure that spreads so that they can profit off it. All this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is like goes on, bro. That's how some people are, but also they're given over to the spirits that fuel those things, that give them like gnosis, knowledge, so that they can profit in that way. And ultimately, they're paying the ultimate price while they see their portfolio rise and they see their profits and they have their luxury and their sports car or whatever. They're paying a huge price for that, right? Yes, it's true that they do harm to Yashar'Al, to the bride of Yahusha, but they will pay dearly for that abuse that they're inflicting upon his wife, his bride, right? He comes back. This is across the board. It's nothing new under the sun. It's been going on for generations, right? Am I literally crossing over 44 again? Dude. I'm pretty sure we are. Like, we're just going zigzagging back and forth over this toll road. Yeah, very thanks-filled that I'm not pulling a trailer doing this, because that would be really rough. There is actually a lot of the Phillips 66 fuel stations out here. I wonder if this is like a hub for them or whatever. I didn't know. It's telling me that I'm going to be merging onto 44 now, so I guess the toll part is only through a certain region. Let me see. Oh no, we're close to a place called Broken Arrow, and we're also close to a place called Tulsa. Maybe you heard of that. I'm kidding, of course you have. Tulsa, yeah, heard of it. But it's saying in 1 mile that I'm going to be merging onto 44 East, so that ought to be interesting. This van pushing me, dude. How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? I don't know what, I'm kind of tripping out. I just looked at the gas gauge in the truck and it's like it hasn't even moved. Okay, now it's telling me, let me stay right here. It's telling me 1 mile, I gotta do something, so I better not. Okay. 44 east to 66, 1 mile. What? What you talking about, bro? Flatbed trailer right in front of me. Oh, he's scooching over. Okay, because you got to take 244 to go to Tulsa. Thunder Road Trucking, LLC. Hot Shop. The Ram, right? Cummins, they all run in a hot shop. Oh well. Okay, so now this is saying 17 miles. And exit on the left. Guys, let me let you go for a bit, get out of this, whatever this is, all this nasty concrete insanity, whatever, what they're building here. It's crazy. And we'll wait and see what Abba has for us later on, alright? Shalom. Shalom, I'm back. I was away for several hours because I had a crisis that I still don't completely understand. But the way I understand it is my auxiliary fuel tank pump. Well, I don't even know if it's the pump or they refer to it as siphoning. So the truck was continuing to draw fuel from the auxiliary tank even when the pump was off. So it was almost like a marine pump situation where you prime it and then it just continues to draw gas for the outboard motor. I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, man. I'm just like, what the freak? So my gas gauge was staying pegged on full. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And the tank was off. And then all of a sudden the gauge on the truck was reading empty, dead, flatline, nothing, as if the key was off. Like it was just nothing. And I was like, oh shoot. And so it's a symptom of like overfilling, but apparently it's also a symptom of this siphoning, and they have to put an anti-siphoning valve in there. So I have to try to go there next time I'm in the area. There's no charge. I don't know, bro. I feel like it's been like nothing but problems. It definitely wasn't cheap, but I'm actually like other than the fact that, like, I have no idea how much gas, technically, I went to get fuel, so the gauge was totally still not working, and I drove like 500 miles like that, and I would pump periodically because I just want to make sure, but I would only do it for a couple minutes. I just didn't want to run out and then have to prime the injectors or whatever. So, so crazy. I got to the pumps to fill up, and I shut everything off. I opened my tank, I opened the auxiliary tank, I took the pump down, I put it in the truck, and I started trying to pump, and it clicked off. And I tried to pump some more, and it clicked off. And I said, wow, dude, the truck is filled. Like, I didn't even really get that much fuel when you consider how far I just drove. It's kind of, in a way, kind of great, like a Baruk in disguise. Now the gauge is working, and it's showing me peg filled. I don't know if it's gonna tick down. I don't know if it's still siphoning. I freaking know. But I didn't have to put that much gallons in when you consider, that I just drove. I'd have to go back and look at the calculator just really quick. I put it in the history here. Let's see. I think that I figured that Oklahoma City to St. Louis was around 500 miles. And I figured that the tank in the truck at being 33 miles times 16 miles to the gallon was going to get me 528 miles. So I was like, yeah, I can make it all the way to this fuel. I didn't need all that. Let me see if I can see what I actually got. Because I was kind of surprised. I was like, well, the truck is filled. So there's that. What's going on? I'm so confused. But I call them, and they're like, oh, it's doing this, it's doing this. Oh, okay. What happens when you do that? They're like, yep, it's siphoning. Yep, no problem, it's siphoning. We'll just have them put in an anti-siphoning valve next time you're in town. Like, no charge, and you should be GOOD to go. It's like, siphoning? I go, siphoning? I don't know what that is. I mean, to me, I understand that means you put a tube in a gas tank, and you suck on it for a second, and then you drop it into a bucket, and it takes the fuel and puts it into the bucket, like, siphon. Why is it doing that? I don't know how that happened. Crazy, man. Been having a lot of problems with this thing, eh? Okay, so and I did get an alert on my DEF. So I did have to get that. So let's see. 33.89, so we'll call it 34 gallons. That's not that much. Got almost 5 gallons of DEF. So I'm thinking that tank is like probably a 6 gallon tank total. I don't know, guys. Now I'm gonna watch and just see, like, does the fuel gauge in the truck go down at all, or does it stay on F the whole time? And then it's just taking from the auxiliary. It's almost like, well, if it's doing that, wouldn't that be like the best way to do it? And then it's just empties the auxiliary tank first and then empties the primary tank after. Dude, are you serious? These guys just turn on their signal and go to jump out like they're not even paying attention. Look, brother. Gotta look, man. It's not cool. Go get up there. What are you doing? Wow. Kinda wish that you guys could see those things so you wouldn't think that I'm just freaking out about everything. That was crazy what that guy just did. I'm just sitting right here with my cruise control on. I'm changing my thing. I think sometimes guys that have like big tires on their truck or whatever, they think that they can just push their way around wherever and everyone gets out of their way. I'm not getting out of your way, dude. I ain't afraid of you. I was here. I'm here the whole time. It's up to you to pay attention and use your signal and make the proper moves. You know? But it's that thing. The world don't revolve around you, right? But I've been noticing more of these big trucks, they'll just turn on their signal and start moving over, but they don't clear the lane first. Remember when they used to say, "Where'd you get your driver's license? A Cracker Jack box?" That's what it reminds me of, guys. So, okay, we'll see what happens. I got 2.5 hours to go to get to the rest area that my Yahusha found for me, where I'm going to be Abba willing, Salah, rest in his Shabbat, Baruk Atah Yahuah. I did grab an extension cord back there at the truck stop, and it comes out to be $1 a foot, 25-foot extension cord for $24.99. Probably not the best deal that you're ever going to see. Although they do have some pretty favorable supplies at Pilot and Flying J. Like they have tools and they have like automotive fluids and they have safety gear. Like they have some stuff actually. So I don't know. But if I'm able to plug in my Jackery, then it was like 1,000% worth it, right? Because that'll keep all my food fresh and I won't have to run the truck at all. I don't know if there's a chance of that, but I'm gonna seek it out because boy, if I find one, I think it'll be a giveaway that it's an orange cord. I'm thinking it could kind of be a giveaway, but we'll see. And I also did check, and my jump box has a 12-volt connection. So I can also just test to see how long it'll run off of there. I don't know that it will really be that long. Excuse me. But it might be a little bit of time. I don't know. We'll just see. The worst case scenario is that I have to run the truck, Jackery recharge. But so what I haven't been watching it super close, but usually by the time I get up in the dawning, it'll be like around 50% or so. So, you know, it kept everything cold all throughout the night and used up about half of the battery. And then I will make some coffee, and that usually drops it down like another probably 15%. Using something that generates heat usually like drains the battery a lot faster. The fridge is pretty efficient, eco-efficient, whatever. So it's usually not an issue there. But yeah, heating stuff up, that kills it. And that's why I I ended up getting the little butane stove thing because my electric oven would knock like half the battery out just to warm up one meal. So that wasn't really. Plus it took up a lot of space. But it's okay. That's, you know, I had it already from work. It was free. I don't mean it came from work. I bought it to use at work, so it was already something that I was using. So instead of the corporate office, it's now the truck office, right? Even though I keep trying to say this truck is not an office. I can't compose emails while driving, okay? And sometimes I feel like I do more than most, and I feel like I do more than I should, but I took some heat from needing a little bit too much help when other people apparently are able to manage it on their own. But that doesn't mean that they do well or whatever. We don't know. I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Been seeing a lot of hot shotters out here. What's this guy? This guy's in a Ford, a dually. Ooh. Alright, going a little bit too fast. So there's a massive town coming up. You might have heard of it. I don't know. St. Louis. St. Louis. Yeah. Some kind of gateway to the west, some kind of time portal arches. I don't know. Whatever it is. I do feel very relieved that the fuel gauge is working now, because I was like doing a little search on it and saw like a lot of different possibilities of replacing componentry on the truck, and it really wasn't anything like that. But the first time that I tried to turn the truck off and start it back up, it didn't fix it. And if it ever happens again, or if you ever have a Chevy GMC with an auxiliary tank and you get that effect, I would say turn it off and open both tanks to like burp them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It could have been that I just needed more time, or it could have been that I actually opened the tanks and, like, you know, broke the seal, kind of, so to speak. On for a little bit. We'll see what we see. Just wanting to try to get to this rest area, reset my logbook, right? 34-hour, sorry, Salakia. Refresh my logbook, 34-hour refresh, and then get the truck over to Transport Protect for service. Depending on what happens with this fuel gauge, I might need an anti-siphoning valve now. Still not completely convinced that there isn't something else going on. Just about everything, I mean, really seriously, just about everything that they touched, I have some kind of issue with it, right? I mean, they put the Husky receiver, ball receiver on there with weight distribution bars. They're supposed to grease those. Housings with weight distribution bars. Like, I think that's supposed to be a part of the installation or assembly. It's supposed to be greased. And then I think the ball is too low, so I have to measure to verify. But every time I hitch up a trailer, I get squat, even if I lift it all the way up before I put the weight distribution bars on. Which again is only based on what I've been told. Sometimes people give you information and you go by that, but it doesn't mean that that's accurate. Sometimes you got to hear from others, get other witnesses, and you realize, oh, there's more to this, and that's scripture. Again, hey, it's my Shah sending me a couple messages. Aww, her pretty face. Aww, mwah, mwah. So cute, so pretty. Thank you, baby. I love you. Oh, she sent me a kissy face. I really needed that, baby. But I will tell you that the gauge on the truck now shows completely filled. So we'll see if it's ticking down or not. I miss you. Mwah. Oh, I'm seeing some big old buildings up here. Yeah, we're going to be going right through the heart of Timothy. Yes, they are. Baruk Yahuah. It's all coming in very lovely and curly. It looks yafa, baby. Beautiful. So I'm gonna say that it's about 4:15. Oh, local time. Big bump. Oh, I see the top of the gateway thing. I have no idea if it's going to come on the camera or not, nor do I have any idea if anybody really cares, because I don't know, man. F them in all their ways, right? But we'll see. Haha. My Shaw saying, and some gray hairs coming in. She's take a look at my beard, right? Woo! It's funny. Yeah, it's smoggy here, dude. Ooh. So far, that gauge is not moved at all. So I don't know, how does that work? If it's siphoning, does that mean that it's just continuing to pull fuel from the auxiliary tank? Man, I'm gonna be so upset if that causes me to spill or waste or anything. This thing is turning into a real bear. I mean, I can see how it's an absolute rock, right? You can drive whatever 1,000 miles and not have to get fuel and stuff like that. And actually, what Brad told me about the shape of the tank and how that affects the float gauge makes a lot of sense, because it's going to seem like it's going down really, really fast, like in the beginning, because that's just a smaller volume portion of the tank. But when it gets down to the base part, it gets a lot bigger, and so it takes a lot longer for it to trickle down. And it's funny because I gotta mention that to the guy at Transport Protect, because he said something to me about that, and I gotta tell him I know why. I know why it seems to go down really fast in the beginning and then really slow at the end. And it makes perfect sense. Okay, I need this Google Maps thing to update. It's showing me there's traffic, you guys. Of course there's traffic. It's a big city, right? So I'll try to do a narration. There's an ancient evil that dwells beneath the streets of the city. It feeds on the life force of the innocent. Its victims come willingly. Its victims come willingly in a drunken stupor, filled with rage. That's funny. Well, there's an old world looking obelisk building with some interesting pyramid triangles on top of it. Let's see if you'll be able to see them right through there. Right through there. Did you see? Did you see it? I don't know. Oh, and look at what we have here. Solared Market Apartments with the giant smokestack. There it is, guys, right there. Oh, 0.7, I got to get over. 0.7, I need 55 north. 55 north, that's this right here. So that means that you're not going to get to see the Archie thingy. Archie. Like Archie Bunker. Woo! Oh, it's too funny. Exit 291A to Illinois. I'm supposed to be in the second. Wait, I'm supposed to be in the second. 55 north, 64. 55 north, 64 east. That's this one. And it's all jammed up. Look at those triangles. See that? It's just like when you see it, you should just read, we are here, or we own this. We own you. This is ours. Like, this is how it. Look at it. Look at on the bridge. You see all that graffiti? You see those little gangs, those little cliques? They mark their turf, right? It's the same thing, bro. They're marking their territory. Look at that bridge, man. That thing is a rust monster. Steel. It's a railroad track, bridge, whatever. Okay, 55 north. One more over. Wait, 55 north, Chicago. Okay. It's so confusing. And everybody's like shifting around. Like it says 55 north, east 64 on this one to go to Chicago, Louisville. And then over here it says 55 north, 64 east Chicago. It's the exact same thing. We're being split in half. Both signs say the exact same thing. Can anybody explain that to me? Anybody? Freaking unreal, dude. Try to make sense out of all their nonsense. Alright, so it's saying 2 miles to 55 north. But it also tells me that I'm on 55 north right now. So yeah, two of the lanes are right over there on the other side. Like I can see them. You can see them. They're literally like right over there. And what are they gonna do? Come back here and join us? Ooh, yeah, that's smooth. Great job, guys. Great job. Barack Obama Avenue. Are you kidding me, bro? Come on, man. Why would we be surprised? See that? Remember, everybody thought that he was not one of them? I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of us do, but the masses or most people, whatever. This thing's going to drop my phone. Okay, 1 mile, 55 north, stay to the left. Hold on, family. We're up over here. Woohoo! Okay, stay in the 2 left lanes and 0.4 to 55 north. And actually, like, I mean, I don't know, like, I want to go to 80, but I don't want to go, like, any more north than that. I gotta be careful. This thing's wanting to take me to Chicago. Everything wants to take you to Chicago. It's pretty crazy how it is. 64. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I think that's correct because I'll go up. Is not the time for me to try and figure that out. So now is the time for me to just follow these instructions and stay alive. It's telling me 146 miles. Abigail wants to breathe. At everything a lot closer when I get to the rest area. I don't feel like that is really taking me too far. Peoria, Illinois. It is it's gonna take me kind of far up there, but I guess I get to Joliet, and then that's when I start heading straight east. Yeah, I guess that's the way you go. I don't know what to expect with this whole thing. Is this gonna stay pegged on F the whole time? Like, I don't know what's going on, bro. It was on E pretty much 5 hours, and now it's just on F. Whoa, it is kind of funny though. Where's Memphis? I don't think I'm going that. I think that's going to be more to the south, right? South and east here. This is silly how little I know about the towns, where they are and stuff. Evansville, is that like one of the hugest towns? Why are you showing me that one? Interstate 270, Memphis, 1 mile. Memphis, you know, the capital of Egypt. Maybe that's where our new GOD will come from. Quote from Elon Musk. Tech giants of industry. history. Giants. The puppy. Oh no, he's just a genius, you know, genius. 140 miles. So I'm not sure, but I don't know that this big old boy is supposed to be in this lane. I don't know that that's supposed to be happening. Okay, he's trying to get over. Little zooms get out of his way. Bing. 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 Try to wave to him and give him some love out here. You see how most of the people on the road treat him. And you can always tell too, the old school guys, like pretty easy to tell. I never even think about like trying to decide if I want to come in on 80 or come in on 70 or whatever. But I gotta stick with this now because my shop found this spot, you know. I want to go check it out. It's shady. She said really pretty pictures, well reviewed. I mean, I need a place where I can like get out of the truck for, you know, 8, 10, 12 hours, what have you. That's the last thing I wanted to do is spend the Shabbat in the truck and have to run it for air and stuff. But we're gonna have to see what happens with the power situation. It's gonna, I mean, the chance is like probably less than 10% chance. If even that, right? But even if there's like an indoor area that I could plug it in just for like 20 or maybe 20 minutes, it will fast charge if it gets plugged into a regular wall outlet. So we just have to see. Now the traffic's starting to thin out. This is what I like. I cannot stand being in those insane places, man. I don't even know. I mean, I know spiritually why people are drunk. And they go after the lucre and the covetings and the materialism, right? The resume and office, the corner office, all whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cutthroat, dog eat dog, like it's ruthless stuff. You're gonna box me in. Move over so that people can get by and then they box you in. north, and we got 135 miles. I don't really feel like there's much of anything going on right now, nor do I feel led to drop any more truth bomb. Anybody who survived through the explosions earlier is a big old thumbs up for me, that's for sure. Because there was some nuggets coming out, and you know, those subscribers and those that have been following along, they've heard all that stuff before, I'm sure. So it's not like it's new. But I would encourage anybody who hasn't to check out the playlist on Trump. Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn. Shalom, shalom, mashpaka. Baruk Atah Yahuah. Okay, so that's Lake Springfield. We're in Illinois. Springfield, Illinois. Next 6 interchanges. We only have 60 miles to go to the rest area. So, Hallelujah. Stay on 55 north to make sure I'm in the proper lane. Okay, right here. So, all is well. Baruk Atah Yahuah. Trying to think. Oh, the gauge, the fuel gauge is going down. So, you know, it's gone down to 7/8, or just, you know, it's actually above there, but it's moving down. So I don't think that it's just sucking fuel out of the auxiliary tank on its own. I don't think so. We'll see, right? I'm gonna try and just not pump any for a while. We'll see how it goes. It's possible that everything just works out. That's what I asked Abba for. So let's see. Right? Let's wait on him and see what he does with it. Baruk Atah Yahuah. Still showing historic Route 66 signs. Yeah, it's wild, man. Could have been on this road been on that route since like California or something. Yeah, it would have been really cool if they would have kept it, like, I don't know, revitalized it, renewed it, repaved it, whatever it is that they needed to do. That would have been so cool. It's funny, 72 West. Oh, Jacksonville, like, wait, Jacksonville, Florida? The complete wrong direction, and we're way too far north there. I don't know what other Jacksonville there is, but obviously some other one. This is one of those huge interchange. It's all spread out. There's curvy roads going every which way. Who knows, man? You know what they do. I've never really been too fond of Illinois. So, may I be able to have a more favorable impression of it this time. And mostly, may the rest area be amazing. It's a pretty high bar that New Mexico has placed. So far, that's my number one. Scenic overlook in Las Cruces off I-10. Mexico. That's actually a pretty valley too. The storms and everything that night, that was a pretty cool line. Pretty cool. So let's see what we got up here. We got some factories going on. Some smokestacks and things. Interesting. depending on what the weather does, which, I mean, it's 94 degrees here, so that's far from cool. You know, being able to rest, like sleep in and stay cool is not the best chance of that. But, you know, I feel like rest areas could do a better job of providing lots of shade parking. It's almost like they don't want you to be too cozy. You just come, use the bathroom, buy a Snickers bar, and let your doggy tinkle, and then get back on the road or something. They don't really believe that, but it's kind of like them. Like, I don't know. Excuse me. Memorials up here. Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library. Other historical sites. Try to think about the manana too. I really would be curious to see what your guys' opinion is. Like, if you warm up something that was previously cooked, is that breaking the Shabbat? And what does it mean to kindle fire? How do you define it? You know, I think feasts that talk about servile work make it pretty clear, right? You're not doing anything that's for a wage, so to say, but you're still gonna you're gonna care for your animals, right? And if you already had a fire going, would you add wood to keep it going? I would say yes. And then you have all these feasts where you're supposed to make an offering by fire to Yahuwah, so obviously that's what they call cooking, right? So, roasting meat. Yeah, it's interesting. But, so yeah. I'm sure that's what I'll end up doing tomorrow is just heating up some of the pre-cooked stuff, but maybe tonight cook something up and really get well satiated, which should also, Abba willing, help me to rest well as long as it stays cool enough. And there's Shalum in the rest area, which usually there is, and oftentimes being by the big rigs as well for me, because they kick up their generators and whatnot, and they kind of have that white noise, and it helps me to rest. I'll take that over bass music and screaming anytime. Like I had the other night at that Traveler's Oasis. I will probably go there again if I pick up in that yard that's there, but otherwise I don't think I necessarily would. But it's literally like 5 minutes away. It's pretty close, so that works out pretty well. And that was cool last time too, got to see the puppies. They got like a dozen hound dogs there. Some construction right here. Area or something there. That's interesting. I've seen a lot of rest areas closed that don't even look like there's anything wrong with them. I really don't understand. There's a river here. Didn't quite catch the name of it. Sangamon or something. was confusing. That big rig passed me earlier, and then I was over here in the right lane, and I got so close to him, I'm like, I gotta go try to go around this guy. I get halfway around him, and he speeds back up, and I have no idea. No idea. I myself have dropped my speed back because I'm just trying to find out what the sweet spot is for this truck. You know, the tire size, the rear gears, just, you know. Seeing how she goes like around 66 miles per hour. And started out not so great, and then I started trying to, because I was going pretty fast. And I'm like, you know what, let's just see how it goes. Let me just drop this down a little bit and see how it goes, because we end up realizing that I do a lot better not trying to push so hard. And I mean, I know that, but I find myself still getting sucked into it because it's like, oh, if I could just get here by this time, then I can make it to here at this time, and then that'll be better, and all this stuff. Right? Anyway, so right now it's gone up to 16.9. So it was around 16 the whole time. So I'm about 98 miles in. Just going a little bit slower. Obviously, it's going to be totally different when I'm on a trailer. And if I end up getting a cover for the bed, I'll probably take the rock guard off whenever I'm bobtailing. It's gonna be like a kite. If I just lay it in the back, it's gonna fly out. And that would be very unwell because it can damage someone else's vehicle, you know. And it's required, and I don't want to lose it. And so there's a lot of reasons I don't want to do that. There isn't anywhere to lay it down flat or anything. So if I do get a cover, I can run it across the two tool boxes and over the fifth wheel hitch. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could like find a way to strap it to the hitch too. I don't know. I don't want it to try to like get any wind up underneath it. It'll chuck it out like it's nothing, man, because that thing's just it's literally like it's like a mud flap that goes the whole width of the truck. You know what I mean? That's what it is, right? It's got some metal and some rubber. The wind gets under it, it's just gonna go. So yeah, I think it could be well to get the cover. Plus, I think that will also add a few miles to the gallon, especially on long runs, like not stopping for any fuel, just keeping a consistent like 66 miles an hour. I like it that 66 miles an hour. Maybe that's because I was on Route 66 all dawning and I was like, have that in my mind. I have no idea. It's mostly just a joke. But it seems to be like the RPMs of the truck. The truck sounds like it's not working near as hard here. I mean, it's sitting right at 1500 RPM. Just sitting right there. So, and it's official. The gauge is to 7/8 now, so you know it's obviously if it was sucking from that 90 gallons back there, it'd still be pegged. Well, it's like what was going on earlier though, and mean, it probably just needed to like burp it or something. I don't know, man. If you know, let me know. But I'm thinking like if you're siphoning fuel or something and you get like an air pocket or bubble, you could probably just break that suction. It's like burping it, right? That's my understanding. Hey, it goes to Amtrak and it doesn't look totally trashed. Bunch of corn fields out here. I haven't seen livestock in a hot minute since we left Oklahoma with those longhorns, man. That was awesome. Got to see a few, like, basically just soaking in the water, just like they're bathing, like just staying cool, whatever. Pretty cool. And whoever is a landowner had, you know, plenty of space for them and lots of shade trees that they're kind of assemble under. It's well to see that, you know. Yeah, there's a bunch of corn right there. Pretty tall looking too. This sign says Elkhart 1 mile. It's obviously not the same Elkhart where the Dooley Depot is. The world's largest covered wagon. Okay. "36 miles. Baruk Yahuah." So we'll see what kind of connection I get to. Need to try to upload a couple videos and embark with a clean slate. And yeah, I really need Abba to barak us with a couple loads, but especially this first one. Really looking for something in the 2,000 range. If I can get that, that'd be great. I need to get in advance for fuel, and really actually do need it too, because I only have about $290 on the card right now, but I am topped off as well. So, and then after I depart from this place, I'm not sure how much miles I have remaining. I'm not too sure. See, this arrangement that's coming up right here. Let me tip this down a little, and just for the heck of it, I'm gonna capture this arrangement on video. So this is a triple axle flatbed trailer. Looks like really high quality. This guy's hauling some equipment right here, construction/farm equipment. I'm not seeing any DOT information, so maybe it must be his own personal stuff. But I'd like to be able to get into that type of thing ultimately with the narrow path transport if Yahuah tarries and if he allows. Like, I mean, I want to be able to like haul horse trailers, automobiles, like get outfitted with some trailers and not have to be leased on. I don't know what it takes to get your own DOT number or your own. I don't even know what an MC stands for. There's also like an MC number or something like that. But if you already have an LLC and you already have commercial insurance, then it seems like you could be able to do something like that. Obviously, the fuel savings card is a significant thing. But yeah, being able to secure loads, building a clientele, customer base, that kind of thing, that's also very, 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 very important. But like, it'd be cool, you know. Try to say that you're your own boss and it's your own company, but in a lot of ways, it's a weird situation, right? All right, 30 more miles to go. It's kind of looking like we're going to continue to have this cornfield, similar type of terrain. So I am going to go ahead and jump off here, let y'all go. We'll catch you on the next one. May you have a Baruk Atah Shabbat, and may Atah Yahuah barak you in your house in His Qadashayam of Yasharal, the name which is above all names. Yahusha HaMashiach, the Anointed One, our deliverer. Hallelujah. 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 Shalom. Shalom. Ashpaka.